So I'm gonna go ahead and mount up on Resto. And I think that the way we mount our horses is particularly important. And I'm gonna be mounting him from the ground, but I also encourage people, like if you need to use a mounting block, use that mounting block. Because you don't wanna be climbing and twisting your horse's back. And I'll show you what I see a lot of, is people stick a foot up in that stirrup and they're holding on the horn in the back of the cantle, and then they're pulling over and twisting that horse's back as they're climbing up, and that makes it so uncomfortable for your pony. Now, especially myself being a bigger guy, I want to make sure that I mount these guys as safely as I possibly can. So I want to show you a way that you can mount without adding a lot of stress and yanking and twerking on that horse's back. So first thing I like to do when I mount my pony is I'm just going to slightly tip my pony's nose in towards me, okay? And I'm actually going to tip his nose, and then I'm actually going to grab with my left hand all the way across on the back side of his neck here, okay? Because when I step up, I'm not gonna grab on the back of my cantle, I'm gonna grab over here on my pony's shoulders. I'm gonna push myself up. I'll counterbalance myself with my leg. I'll show you how I'll do that in a moment. And then I'll very gradually swing over. So I'm gonna go right to it here. So I'm gonna tip that nose, and then once I tip that nose, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to slide my foot in the stirrup. Now once I have that foot in the stirrup, then I'm just going to kind of just hop around here, grab onto the shoulder over here, and I'm just going to push over, counterbalance with my leg, and then I'll slide on there. So you can see how when I put the pressure over on this shoulder, my pony's able to bear my weight without having to twist his back and be uncomfortable. Now if your pony starts kind of wiggling like he's doing, just go ahead and start flexing your pony. That way he kind of refocus his energy from wanting to walk to just flexing and standing still. And when it looks like he's lost that desire to wiggle and stand and kind of dance around, then you can let him just kind of stand there in peace. No sir. Now, another thing you might find, especially with this horse, he came to me with a little bit of nipping and biting. If when you flex, your horse kind of nips and bites at you, you can just kind of bump them off the bit and say, no, sir, because you never want them biting your toes or your boot or even the stirrup and messing up your saddle. So you can just kind of get after them in that fashion to let them know, nope, don't want you biting on all of that. So again, I'm just going to keep flexing here with him until he settles down and stops trying to move on his own, because the goal here is for him to understand that when he stands still, life is so much easier. I'm not going to be flexing him from side to side here. Okay? Okay, looks like we're doing a little better here. Okay, I'm going to give him an opportunity to just stand it. Notice I've got a loose rein on him. If he starts to move, then I'll gather him back up and flex him again until he stops and he gives. So some of this initial stuff that we do is just as important as the groundwork that we do before we mount up to ride our horse. A lot of times we're so excited and anxious to ride that we kind of skip steps and just move forward without dealing with issues, because we want to do the fun part, right? We want to do all the riding. But this is just as important if we want to set him up to do well here. So nice big deep breath. I'm going to give him a loose rein again. I'll give him a chance to try and walk off. I'm not going to hold him. I don't want to baby my horse, you know. He gets to make his own make his own decisions here, but there will be consequences for his decisions. So he's standing nice and still. Wow. I'm going to rub and love on you, let you know you're an awesome pony. But if he were to walk off, we would have gone right back to flexing. So once you mount up on your horse, make sure you take your time. Make sure you don't just get into a rush and start walking your pony off or trotting your pony off. You want that horse to stand still. And if they're not standing still, go to flexing. Flex them back and forth to refocus their energy from their feet to softening throughout their body, because you want your horse to be nice and soft before you ride. You can also ask for some vertical flexion. See if you can get them to lower that head for you, to refocus their energy in that direction. And once you have them thinking soft, you're more likely to have them riding soft.